Aloha and welcome to Aloha Friday. It has been a while. I am your host, Shane Austin. I'm here with my co-host, Dave Austin. And it has been a while since we've had Aloha Friday, but again, this is where you can always find greatness made casual. Today, it's going to be a little different since we're just kicking back off. I was in my football season for a while. We're going to turn the tables a little bit here. I guess Dave has convinced me that I'm going to be the guest and he's going to ask me a few questions, but today
That's
we're going to
right,
talk
man.
about
That's right.
we're going to talk about turning adversities into successes. I think life is full of adversities, and how we can best navigate that, turn them into successes, is how we're going to be, have an enjoyable, successful life. So with that said, Dave, welcome. And what are you grateful for today? We always like to start in gratitude.
I'm grateful to have you back. I'm also grateful that you had a chance to, you'd been off the field for 2 years and go and actually rock it like a rock star that you are. Take even 2 years away from the game and still bring it and still create miracles on the field. I think that's amazing. I can't wait until we talk about some of the adversity you went through and how you shifted those into victories. I mean, it's amazing. And we all, as you have already said, all in life have adversity hit us, but we can turn them into victories. Oh my. So I'm grateful just knowing that. And you know what? I'm grateful that we're back by popular demand. I've had so many people go, "What happened to Aloha Fridays?" We're back, baby. We're back.
I can be the culprit for that one. I apologize. I thought I had hung up the cleats. I thought I was content with not really playing football again. I was ready to move on, but as life has it, and sometimes you get taken back into it, and it was a blessing, and there's a lot that we can learn from it. So that's what we're going to discuss today. So I am also grateful for being back. I love it here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The weather's great. The food, I finally got some green chili. I needed my fix. I finally got some of that. It's been a while, but it's good to be back here. I can get back on another routine. And August is going to be busy, action-packed for at least for me and my wife. But we have our certification coming up in August, which I'm looking forward to as well. So there's a lot to be grateful for. Gratitude is running wild, everywhere here. So with that is always a reminder to anybody watching and tuning in to constantly fill yourself with gratitude every single day. Make it a daily practice. And let us know if you're tuning in live with us. Say hello, say aloha. Let us know you're here, and we can always bring you in and address any questions that you have. Not actually bring you in. Don't worry, we're not going to see your side of the camera, but we love to interact and hear from you guys as we chat away. So with that, before we even get into some of the content and the discussion that we're going to talk about today, I always like to start with some trivia. And whoever's joining, whether it's on replay or live, let's see your answers. Let's see who is up to the task. And in honor of Aloha Friday, being from, living in Hawaii for a while, they do have their fair share of sharks, and it is Shark Week. So this week's
what is
trivia
this?
is going to be a Shark Week themed trivia. I don't know if anybody has watched Shark Week yet. It's a great week. Not a great week to be in the water, but a great week to watch TV. So I'm going to ask it to you, Dave, too. You're competing against the audience. Let's see who gets the most right.
These are always tough.
The first one. All right, let's go with this one. I'm going to give you three options. How many different species of shark are there? A, less than 50. B, between 100 and 300. Or C, more than 400. How many species of shark?
Holy moly. Gosh, I'm afraid to even ask because I love to surf, and oh my, gosh, I'm going to say, I don't know why.
Somebody help Dave out. A, B, or C? Less than 50, between 100 and 300?
C.
More than 400?
Yeah, that sounds crazy to me. I can't even begin to believe it. I don't know if that's going to stop my surfing, but no, I'll still be a surfer. But I'm going with that just because it sounds so absurd. I know that's crazy.
Okay, I'll come back to the answers. Second one, I'll give some people time to respond because sometimes the comments don't come up to me right away. Other than sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing, what can sharks also sense? So if you notice there, I did all the 5 senses they have, but they also have one other sense that we don't have. Well, maybe some people do. But what else can they sense?
They somehow have a radar type thing in them. They feel the let's call it the whatever kind of waves they are. That's what they don't have as great of eyesight, but they're attracted, and they have like a built-in radar system. I think it's in their skin.
You heard it first from Dave Austin, the shark expert. They have a radar system built in to their skin. That's your answer? Rodney's in the house. Rodney said B on the last one, between 100 and 300. I'm going to get to the answers in a second. What's up, Rodney? Good to hear from you. I am going to talk about your podcast at the end of here because I noticed that today our episode went live. I was the guest on Rodney's podcast. So stay tuned for that. I'll give you guys a little shout out for that at the end here. All right, last and final question, true or false? So, hey, you got 50-50 chance here. The last reported sighting of Megalodon, and do you even know who Megalodon is? Before I even finish this question. Megalodon, okay, there's a movie coming out called The Meg. It's the largest prehistoric shark ever recorded. It's the largest predator in the history of mankind. It's a huge shark. It's I want to say, 200, I don't know. It's way bigger than our biggest great white shark ever. It's at least 4 times the size of that. We can literally step into its mouth without even being touched by it has such a big mouth that it could swallow us whole without even chewing us. So the last reported sighting of Megalodon was in 2004 off the northern coast of Costa Rica. True or false?
I'm going to go false because I stepped into its mouth back in. No. Okay, never mind. I'm still going to say false. I think it's a movie. I don't believe it. I don't buy it.
Do you not buy that it's a real thing? Megalodon is a real shark. They have found plenty of evidence. They have found teeth. The size of the tooth is 7 inches, just the size of one tooth, and they have millions of them.
Oh my God. I'm going to say it happened a lot longer ago, but that's just what I'm going with. I've been wrong before. I can handle it. I can learn. See, I don't lose in these things. I learn or I win.
Rodney's saying true, so he's going against you. He's also saying it's the largest shark next to the whale shark. They're even bigger than the whale shark, which is amazing. And we got Keith Leon in the house. What's going on, Keith? How are you doing?
Hey.
and yes, it's Megalodon. I don't know if the spelling is right there, but yes, Megalodon is we're going true or false. So we got our 3 questions. We've got some answers. We got Dave's answers. Let's see who was right. So the first one, how many species of sharks? A, less than 50, B, between 100 to 300, C, more than 400. The correct answer is C, more than 400. God. There are over 440 different species of shark, which is incredible. So you could watch an episode on each different species of Shark Week, and it wouldn't be a week. It would be a freaking over a year long show.
I got to say that I got that right, but I'm kind of was hoping I wasn't going to get it right.
Yeah, that's a lot of different sharks. Not all of them are going to eat you, though, but some of them definitely will. All right. The second one, other than our 5 senses that we have, the sharks can also sense, Dave said, radar in their skin. They can also sense electricity. If you see like the hammerhead, especially, they're the best at it. Their head is wide like this. They got all these little sensors right here. They can literally detect the electricity, the frequencies in the water. They can hear other animals. If they want to go get a stingray that's buried itself in the sand, they can feel it. They know it's there through its senses. So they have a little extra 6th sense, if you want to call it that. Yeah, many. Look.
I'm gonna give myself a right answer on that because that's kind of what I said. They got an inner radar thing, and it's kind of the same thing,
Hey, if you feel good about that, if you want to give yourself a participation ribbon, you go ahead and do that.
I got it. Give me the ribbon, baby.
I'm not giving it to you. All right, the final one, and yes, that is a lot of sharks and too many, as Rodney says. The last one, true or false? Last reported sighting of Megalodon was in 2004 off the northern coast of Costa Rica. Well, I hope it's false just because I'm going to Costa Rica next month. So it is false. They've actually been extinct for around 2.6 million years ago is when they went extinct. So Megalodon has been extinct for quite a while, but it resurfaces in the movie. This is not a plug for the Meg, but hey, they're Shark Week, so everybody should go see the Meg.
Hey, I saw that Keith just said they can sense me swimming the hell away from them in a hurry.
They really can, though. No, seriously, that is. A prey will run away. So if they see it running away, or if you're swimming away in panic, they know that's a prey. They can sense it, and you'll probably get eaten. Sorry, Keith. What you got to do, and this is what I learned, you actually have to swim directly at them. Make eye contact with them. If they're charging you, this guy did this with a great white and survived. You charging right at them, you swim right at them, make eye contact with you. You basically play a game of chicken. And they know that prey always swim away. So if it's swimming right at them, they're going to second guess themselves and they're going to beeline a different direction. So you make sure that you see them.
Keith, I'm going to make a suggestion that you don't do that until you've been through our Beast program. Once you've been through the Beast program, go after that shark. You got it, baby.
You're going to need some courage.
Be trained.
Oh, man. All right. So that's it. Call them out. Punch them in the nose. That actually is a good technique if you can punch them if they come that close, but just don't miss and get your arm swallowed. But actually, I have heard sharks are very the attacks are very rare. We have a false perception of them, and I think I need to go swim with sharks. Dave, you ready to go do shark cage diving with me? I think we need to go.
Let's go.
One of our beast camps in Hawaii, we need to go do shark cage diving. That would be a good
let's
one.
do it.
We need to add that.
Hey,
okay.
I've done surfing sharks. I'd feel a lot better with sharks.
Yeah, well, then we'll free dive. All right, enough about sharks. I know it's Shark Week, but enough. We got to move forward. Let me do the quote of the week. Anybody that follows me on social media, Instagram especially, I do a quote of the week, which we call the Queek. And today's, I'm actually posting it later today. I haven't even posted it yet, so you guys are the first ones hearing it, is stay loose and don't get shook. Bend with the bamboo. And that is by none other than Hammerin' Hank Austin. Similar last name to Dave right there and myself, because that is my grandpa, Dave's father, World War II veteran, Navy chaplain, Hank Austin, Hammerin' Hank Austin. And that one I love. That's one of my favorite quotes. Bend with the bamboo. You got to sink your roots in deep. You know, I found out that bamboo is actually stronger than steel in certain scenarios. They'll use it for construction, but it'll bend. It won't break. And it's got long root system. It just weathers the storm, and I think we can all learn from bamboo. We can all bend with the bamboo.
Absolutely, I was brought up in my childhood, and you came up in it because of my dad. But a few years back, I had an assistant that was a school teacher who was working for me, and I'm pretty flexible. And when I put on workshops, and she goes, "No, you at 9 we got to do this. At 11 we got to do this." She's very structured. She goes, and I looked at her and I went, "What do we need to do?" And she goes, "Oh yeah, that's right. We need to bend with the oak tree." I go, the oak tree? Oak trees don't bend. We'll break, baby. Come on.
Hey, snap. Oh, it's the same, with Aloha Friday, a saying, I don't know if it's a saying, but a mentality that you have in the great islands of Hawaii is, the palm trees. You see videos of when a hurricane comes in, they take a thrashing and they are just flopping around like it's nobody's business, like a rag doll. But when the storm subsides and it goes away, those palm trees have very strong roots. They're very flexible. They bend. They come right back to it. An oak tree, pine tree, those things snap. So it's just like the same mindset. Bend with the bamboo. Endure the storm, but stay grounded. You're going to get through it, and you're going to come back stronger. And
perfect for our subject matter today, baby. And Andrew, thanks for that great shout out. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah. Chops, what's up? Chops in the house. I love it. We're getting and enjoyed the football post. We're actually going to talk a little football today as well in the discussion. I think. I mean, I'm the guest, so we'll see. But I love it. Yes, exactly, Rodney. Deep rooted and grounded. That's where it all comes from. You got to have the foundation. If you have your foundation built on sand, you wither away. But when you have it solid, you can withstand the storms. All right. So
are you ready to be my guest and shut up?
Yeah. Are you going to give a tip of the day, or should we just go right into the discussion? and that will
No,
be the
I
tip
give
of
a
the day.
tip a day. I mean, I think Ben with
From
the
Coach.
Bamboo is such a good one. Go in that flow. Winners are adaptive. They don't change the course of what their goal is. They might be, well, their course might change a little bit, but they stay focused. And no matter what comes, no matter what adversity comes, they shift that adversity. And today in this interview, I want to see if you're a champion, Shane. I want to see and explore what you did when you went back on the football field. Are you ready for me to bring it? And
I'm
part
ready.
of my, as I say, my tip is about facing what appears to be adversity and shifting it into a victory, because that's what this whole show is about today.
I'm ready. Let's get right into it.
All right. So, I mean, most of you know, and I've gotten a lot of messages, where is Aloha Fridays? We always talk about start the week strong, finish it strong with Aloha Fridays. Well, it was what?
And a Mai Tai.
And a Mai Tai, baby. And about, I don't know, 2.5 months ago, I was watching CBS Sports, and I watched the quarterback for the Washington team go down, and he was carried off in a stretcher. And I knew right at that moment. I called Shane the next day, and I said, Shane, talk to your wife. Let's talk about Extreme Focus, because he's our president of our company. So how do we do this? And if we think we can without you or with you within football, I said, I can almost guarantee you're going to get a call from Washington. Sure enough, boom, the call came, but he had talked to Megan, and then you went. And then at Washington, I'm just going to fast forward in this because I really want to talk about what took place. I mean, first of all, you walked out on the field in the first game after not being on the field in 2 years. And the announcers, it was televised, nationally televised game. They said, Shane Austin has not been on the field in 2 years. Tell them what you did in that first drive, but how did you accomplish the success you had?
Well, we actually marched right down the field. I want to say 3 plays we scored, which felt good.
3 plays, I know exactly. Boom, boom, boom. 3 completions.
Felt good to get into a rhythm early, but I think the reason I was able to get into rhythm early because I hadn't played in over 2 years. I haven't been on the field. I have been training and working out and staying in shape, but I haven't been throwing or anything like that. I mean, it was definitely a new experience to come on the field without really a lot of prep, but I had to tap in. I know that I have the muscle memory. I know that I've done it before, and I had to tap back into that, and I really used visualization. I went back, and before I got on the field, even when I was training and working out in the gym, but I wasn't doing any throwing, if I was doing like core, if I was doing like wall sits or planks, if anybody's done planks, you just sit there and you just take it. It just sucks. So I would just visualize in those moments, and I would just visualize myself on the field, just doing what I knew how to do and tapping into that. So it's almost like I was still taking reps, even though I wasn't taking physical reps. And before I got onto that field, I went back to the old playing days back in like 2014 when I was having one of my greatest seasons ever when I went all arena. And I went back and watched some game film just to see myself when I was performing at a high level. And it really, it surprised me in the way that I was like, oh, I wasn't abnormally, abnormally good or anything like that. I was still making all these mistakes, but I was still having good results. So that brought me to a sense of peace and a trust and a knowing that, hey, I don't have to go out there and be perfect. I can go out there and just trust in my natural ability, trust in that muscle memory, but also just staying in the moment. So I trusted in that, and going back to the highlight reel definitely helps because it's within us. We've already done it, and you can tap right back into that energy when you go back to thinking of a moment where you felt at your best, where you were just in that feeling, where everything just felt right, where you're in that state of flow, where you're in the zone. Tap back into that memory of it. It helps tap you back into that present moment and going right back into it. So that and the visualization helped me just take the field and pick up where I left off.
So let's just bring this directly to your lives. Whoever is on this, either live or going to be watching this in the recording, think about what you're challenged with and how you're going to move forward. Every cell in your body, if you're doing something, every cell in your body, you have stored the way to do it. And you have to go back to what Shane said is allow yourself to visualize and tap back into the feeling of that success. Because it's real easy to be distracted with, oh my God, I haven't done this, which is a complete distracted. I haven't done it in a while, whatever the saying is. But And I
Or even
think,
something you've never done before. You can visualize something you've never done before. And that's what Rodney says, game changer mentality, baby. That's what it's all about. I love it.
hey, and we need you part of the Extreme Focus team there, Rodney. But anyway, that's a great answer to that. So let's move forward. You played for Washington for 2 games. They changed coaches. You weren't completely happy where you were. And I remember the Sunday we talked and you said, hey, man, I'm just playing for a paycheck, I think, right now. And that's not who I am. You've always been passionate about everything you do, and I've always seen the joy in you. And you said, I don't know what to do. This team is in disarray. And normally, you have such a great spirit about you. Even when the coaches are in disarray, you're able to still bring the team together. And you were challenged by it, and I won't deny that. And so what I did normally, when I have clients and everything, most people look for me from my perspective. And one of the things I had to do was RESPA, which is if you go through our BEAST program, it's relax, evaluate, strategize, have patience, and then take action with clarity. And I could, in the RESPA, sometimes RESPA can take that long. But I said, Shane, let's take 24 hours on this, because here's the choice you have. Either let's find the joy where you can't find the joy right now, or see the joy right now, or go ahead and come home, because I don't think it's right to play such a violent, tough game unless your heart's in it so big time. I that's the last thing I would want for you, is to play just for a paycheck. Even though the paycheck was nice, I got it. So we took our 24 hours, and here's some magic that took place. So from that call on Sunday, he got released by Washington because the new coach wanted to bring in his own guy. And so, you had to have that down moment. Within 30 minutes, when it went on the wires, you got picked up from Philadelphia. Can you take it from here and tell us kind of what you went through and how you opened up to have a phenomenal, the joy came back and all that? Tell me how you opened to that to happening.
Well, I don't even think it took 30 minutes. I think it was more like 30 seconds. It was pretty crazy to see the dynamics of 2 different teams, 2 different cultures. And one thing that was unique for me just from the get-go and going to Washington is, as a quarterback, you're kind of expected to be a leader. And this was a unique situation for me because I'm coming into a team that's already established. They've already played some games. They've already had a leader that went down. And I didn't feel it was right to just be that leader and just be rah right off the bat. I like to develop the relationships. I like to lead by example first and show that I can work hard, and then people can, I can earn that respect. So it was an interesting dynamic being in that atmosphere where it never felt right to just take over the lead. Yes, I had some success there, and I also had some non-success, if you want to call it that. But yeah, there just wasn't that chemistry, that relationship that you got to build to be a strong leader. And then I got the opportunity to go to Philadelphia, which my kicker right there is waving to us right there. I got a hold for Trevino right there, the Philly soul. And I thought it was a great opportunity because, one, I didn't want to go out with that sour note or that sour taste in my mouth. So I wanted to go to an organization that's really known for winning, that they have a good success. Their QB was down at the time, who, in my opinion, has been the best QB in our league for a number of years. So if anything, I get some playing time in, but also I would get some learning in. I knew I would be able to really expand my knowledge of the game, and I think we're always a sponge to anything. So I thought it was a great opportunity. I went for it, got the start right away. Had some success. The interesting thing is the first game I played, we're playing Washington, the team that cut me. And we ended up, I'd only been there for less, about a week. And we got one of my receivers, Prince, is in the house, who just got to work out with the Steelers. Awesome, hey, congratulations on the Steelers workout, my man. Keep grinding. This guy's an absolute baller.
Number 6, baby.
Yeah, so I go to the team. I have a week with practice. We play Washington. Still learning, players like Prince here, still learning, getting that chemistry with the guys. And Prince, I think he had like 4 touchdowns that game. He had a good game. He was a good outlet for me. I just throw the ball up, he'd catch it. we ended up losing that game by 1 point. I'm sorry, Trevino. I know we missed the PAT, but but I had some opportunities there that I didn't capitalize on. I threw a couple interceptions. We had the ball at the end of the game, able to win the game, and I ended up throwing another interception. So that was a tough one for me to swallow.
You didn't. You started on your own 1 foot line, and you guys went 4 and out.
That was when I was playing with Washington. We were playing Baltimore.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
We lost by 1 point to Baltimore. Then I go to Philly. We lose by 1 point to Washington, and that's Washington's first win of the season. So that one hurt. That still hurts deep within. I'm like, man, how do I get cut by a team and then go and lose to them and give them their first win? I'm like questioning everything. I'm questioning why I should even be playing this game anymore. I'm like, man, what is wrong with me? And that's why Trevino's watching Aloha Friday, so we can be 100% on those kicks. I love it. Hey, every little piece goes to, as we found out, every point matters, because later on that very next game we go up to Albany and we win by 1 point, and that was an amazing situation in itself. And I don't know if you were at that game.
It was so cool. You and if you don't mind, I'll say the night before, you say, I don't know if I still have this magic in me. You doubted, but you brought it to the surface. See, a lot of times we stuff doubt, and then doubt has a chance to grab us and hold us. We can't see it when you stuff it. You brought it to the surface. We put a flashlight on it. We dealt with it. Then you go into that game, and with 51 seconds left, you're down by 2 touchdowns. Like, oh man, this is old. Here it is again, baby. Here we are. And you take the field down, you take them down, you throw a touchdown. Now we're actually only, 5 points, because it was, or 6 points behind, because they had missed an extra point, and Trevino was on fire, so we knew we had him locked in. So anyway, we kick an onside kick, perfect kick. Hey, we got to give you some love now, Trevino, from talking about Washington or losing by 1.
And by the way, I was joking about that. It still comes down to every single player, and I think I had the most. If there's anybody to blame me, because I could have played a better game. But no, 1 point does not make or break.
I know.
We should have beat them by.
Hey, I'm giving them love right now. Hey,
by 35, which we did later. Anyways, go on. Sorry.
So anyway, we get the onside. We go down, and there's .04 on the clock. Not 4 seconds, .04. And, it was just like old days, man. You come back, you scramble out of the pocket, you run to your right. Oh, and if Prince is still on, he's the man. You see number 6. And game 1. And when we talk about being flexible and bend with the bamboo, after you guys won, I've never seen anybody who had to be more flexible, because every one of your teammates knocked the living out of you in celebration, not in disappointment. But, oh, my gosh, it looks like a rag dog the way they all came over and cheered you on. And it was amazing. And I was there. I got to see it. I went into the head coach, and I said, Coach, I just want to thank you for giving Shane the chance to share the love with you, because you'd taken the love away from them in 2014 3 times. And he goes, well, we have a saying in arena football. You've been shamed, not shamed, but shamed. He goes, it's so good to be able to say we shamed them. So there's already a reputation out there on you, bro. That's awesome.
I got to say, it still comes back to the entire team. And when it comes back, we're talking about the dynamics of 2 different teams playing on one season. When I go to Philly, the camaraderie is already there. The chemistry is there. Everybody had each other's back. And when we were down, we never had a doubt. We looked around, and it's just like nobody lost hope. Nobody lost faith, or it was getting down or blaming other people or pointing the finger or anything like that. Everybody, still trusted and believed. And that's the first step to any kind of comeback or any kind of buzzer beater, is you got to continue to have the faith or the hope. Without that, I mean, you're not going to be even put yourself in position. But we had that chemistry and support. And even though I'd only been there, this is only my second game with the team, I still felt like everybody had my back on the team. Even if I hadn't played, the greatest of game, or I had some mistakes and some plays that I'd like to have back, they had my back, I had their back. And when you have that, you at least put yourself in position. We got the onside kick, we went down, and we were able to have some time to get it to my man Prince there for the game winner.
Do you see what he said, Shane? He said Shane and I locked eyes.
And the funny thing is we did is when you get into a state of flow, or when you get into the zone, which we were completely in the zone, time seems to slow down a little bit. And I felt like that last play was slow motion. When I stepped up in the pocket, when I watch back on film, it looks like it happens quick, really fast. I'm like, how were we on the same page like that so quickly? But when we were slow motion, I escaped out. Prince was, he had a defender right there. We did lock eyes for that second, and we just knew instinctively that he was going to get open for me. And right when he even put his foot in the ground, I knew where he was going. I put the ball up, and it missed the guy's fingertips by maybe an inch, and he was able to catch it. But to be in that kind of connection and chemistry, you got to be in group flow. If anybody's read the book Stealing Fire, they talk about Navy SEALs, how they get into that group flow. And we were in group flow, where we were absolutely pushed to our limits. We had maybe the toughest adversity against us, but we were prepared for it. We had faith in it. We stayed in the moment in it, and we were completely locked in to embrace that moment. And that was a fun and special moment to be a part of. But it still came back to the chemistry of that team. And as Keith said right here, I'll backtrack a little bit. The thoughts you had are understandable. It's what you did with those thoughts, turning them around and stepping up and in. So I want to comment on that, because that was a big part in that moment there, where we had 0.4 seconds and we had the chance to win by 1. Now, the previous 3 games that I played with 2 different teams, I had lost by 1 point, where I had the ball, or the offense had the ball on the last drive. And in the AFL, you're really expected to score. And if you have the ball last, you're expected to win if you have a chance to win. Both times I came up short, once with Washington, once against Washington. So I had those doubts come up. We brought it up the night before, because we do what we call a game ready. Rodney knows all about those game readies, but I do a game ready before every single one of my games. And I've done it with some teammates in the past. And actually, Dan Rodabaugh, he ended up becoming a big fan of it. Prince and Trevino, we got to get you guys on the game readies. But it's a visualization process. But I brought up, before we got into it, I just had to bring it up. I had the doubts. I had the thoughts within. I didn't want to just stuff them down and bury them, pretend they're not there, because they're there. They're going to be there whether you pretend they're there or not. So I decided to just bring them to the surface. And I was like, I've lost now by 1 point 2 times already. Out of the past 3 games, I've lost by 1 point, and I had the ball last. Like, I should win those moments. Like, those are, I've always been known to win in the last, the buzzer beater things. I was like, have I lost it? Have I lost a step? Do I just not have it anymore? Just by addressing those questions, just by bringing it to the surface, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders. Now, we came up with, our answer at the time. We tapped into gratitude and being grateful for the opportunity and all that. And I think that that's absolutely beneficial. But I think just by bringing those thoughts to the surface, good or bad, having full awareness that they're there, that helps lift that weight. Just putting a flashlight on it. And then I have that opportunity. I think it's just fate would have it. We have that opportunity right after I bring that up. And this time we finish with it. And so that was an awesome opportunity. And then the next game, we go back to Washington. Finally did get my revenge. We beat him by 35. Rodney was actually at that game. So Rodney, you'll tell us, now you have a little backstory, because that was the first game you saw. Now you have an idea of what led up to that game and why we routed them 35 points. But anyways, it was
and Coach Clint, he yells out to me, Mima Lima, which in the beast training is it's done to you as you believe. And he got the Be a Beast book. I thought that was priceless. The rest of the team had no clue probably what he was saying.
Right. He got the book, so he was already reading it. I love it. So, and Rodney's saying, face your doubts. That's what it is. It's bringing it to the surface, not pretending it's not there. It's bringing it to the surface, addressing it straight up. There's nothing more powerful than that. So it was a great opportunity, great experience this season. Learned a lot, had some fun. But I just wanted to share that. What do you want to call a life lesson? Yeah, you can translate anything to a life lesson. Football is a great vehicle for that.
Absolutely. And, there's 72 comments that have happened during this show today. And as I've watched the comments, I go, you know what? And all anybody has to do is go through all these comments, and they're gonna learn something of great value. We're over the top today. We got beast mode all the way with those that commented. It was just priceless, absolutely priceless. And when you talked about team flow, that was the difference in Philadelphia. There are guys that all stuck together, stayed together, and I think that the moral of that one is surround yourself with people who are going to be in team flow in life. If you're not on a football team, create your own flow team. Yeah, I've never come out with that before, but that's what we do. We have the Extreme Focus certification, and all our Extreme Focus certified coaches, we keep each other in team flow, baby. We encourage, we come up with good stuff that helps each one of us. Here, I'm the one that started all this, and yet every time we have our I'm going to call them team flow meetings now, I gain something. I gain so much. And I think that's an important lesson in life, is surround yourself in that environment. You were in Washington, it wasn't a good environment. You go to Philadelphia, it was a great environment. Which one did you enjoy more, Shane?
I think it's easy. I think that it's self-explanatory there, but it really is the environment you put yourself into. It's the culture around you. There's a culture there in Philly. No, we didn't win the championship. The championship's this Saturday, but I would say nine out of 10 times you have a culture of success, a culture of camaraderie, of community, of support. Guys like that. Those are guys that I'll go to battle with any day. So any area of life, you can find that kind of culture, that kind of environment that you have to create it. Maybe you have to build it from the ground up. But once you have it, it's something that's special. And it's very important. It's very critical if you want to have that group flow, that group success. So we're at the top of our time here.
We're there. What an honor to have Aloha Fridays back. Hope you enjoyed it as much as Shane and I have. And hey, Prince, I got to shout out to you. Man, the Steelers are so lucky to get a chance to see your gifts. Wow. I know at the end of the arena football, there's several receivers that are going now to different NFL teams. And man, I'll tell you what, I hope the Steelers are smart. When I say that, most teams aren't always brilliant in their judgment, but if they allow to see the gifts of number 6, it's really awesome. Proud that you even out there. You've impressed them enough for them to bring you in. So good stuff. Really good stuff.
In the 412. So with that said, I just want to give a few more shout outs. And I see we got even some other people coming in. Derek Steiner, what's going on? And but since we have Rodney on here too, I want to just give out a few book podcast recommendations. Sometimes I do that at the end of these shows, just something I'm listening to that might help somebody else. One, I just finished an audiobook called Solve for Happy. Great audiobook, great listen, great book if you read it. But it really is taking a Google executive to solve equation for happy. And he had to put it to the test when he lost his own son. And it's a great book, great read. A lot of the stuff we talk about here is, in football, it's controlling your mindset, controlling the really your attitude towards adversity. That's what it's all about, because we're gonna be faced with adversity throughout our lives. It's how we react to it. It's how we respond, and that's powerful. But now for podcast wise, Rodney in the house. Rodney's got he just launched brand new podcast, and I love it, and I love the name of it too, the Game Changer Mentality. The podcast. This thing is awesome. Rodney's an absolute rock star, and I was fortunate enough to be a guest actually while I was in Philly, actually right after we played Washington, and we beat them by a good number. Rodney came out to that game. Very next day, I was on his podcast, and it just got released today, right, Rodney? I want to make sure I'm not jumping the gun here. I just saw the email, but if it's not, I'll keep my mouth shut. But I'll be posting some links to that for sure and sharing that.
And Rodney, you would have never had him on if he had lost that game, right? He win by 35. So I see Keith goes, "Hey, baby, have me on as a guest." All right, man, you got to win by 35. No, I'm just
right. It's a very easy application process. You just got to win by 35. But I love Rodney is a gem, and gem, as Roger Anthony would say, stands for go the extra mile. Rodney definitely goes the extra mile. If you know him personally, that guy is an absolute game changer mentality, baby. So go check out that podcast for wherever you find podcasts. I'm sure all those different locations, but especially check out the interview with your boy. I'm gonna go listen to it right now, even though I was a part of it. I want to go listen to it again.
And keep bringing out the books, and yeah, we'll talk. You know, we're back. We're game on now again, and I love it.
Game on. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, start your week strong with Dave's Facebook Lives on Mondays and at the beginning of the week, and then we'll finish off the week with a Mai Tai on Aloha Friday, and we'll explore different topics and discussions to get your mind working for you rather than against you. And any of the Beast programs that we mentioned today, reach out to us if you want to get involved. If you want to be a coach yourself, go through the certification, let us know. Reach out. We want to spread this army of super trooper coaches and really spread this wealth of knowledge to the world. So with that, this is Shane, Dave Austin signing out. We will see you next week on Aloha Friday, where greatness is made casual. See you all later.
Beast out.